What's up? Black men have to destroy the culture of self destruction in their community. Now, if there's any black man out there who's trying to self improve, who's trying to get better relationships, who's trying to really connect with other men that want to self improve and want to see black people rise and learning black history, learning who to look up to in black history, and all these things of black men coming together, rising and self improving and getting healthier, physically healthier, I would say to check out the link in the bio section of my channel. I have a step by step guide. I have a file for all of that you can check out. So if you're interested in that, check that out. The link in the bio section of my YouTube channel. Click on my channel. You'll see that. Back to the video. Now, in one of my other videos, I spoke about why there's going to have to be a cultural revolution inside of the black community, and that's going to be the culture of prosperity, of black men rising, the black community rising, in every aspect, improving in every aspect, and there's a culture of self-destruction, which means you got to act like a thug, you got to be promiscuous, you got to throw your life away, you got to be a criminal. All those things are glorified. The things that destroy us will be glorified, right? There's going to have to be a cultural revolution, which means almost like a war on getting that out of the community, because killing that's what's killing our community. That's what's killing our minds. That's what's making us slaves, right? And the thing is, I remember the other day I just seen a video, and there was this young black boy, and you could tell he was raised in like the ghetto and stuff like that. And basically, I remember it was just one guy. He came up to him like the interview style stuff you see on the internet, and he was like, "What you been up to, man?" He said, "What you been up to the little young man." And he was like, "Man, I'm just getting money, and I'm just getting money, and I'm getting hoes, right?" But then the guy who was interviewing him said, and then the guy that was interviewing him said, "Man, I just been trying to stay away from women, self improve, just talking that positive talk of he's trying to improve himself." And then the little black boy got up and walked away because I guess he didn't want to hear that, right? But the thing, I know I didn't explain it the best, but the thing that I'm trying to get at is that in our culture, it really is a thing where the younger black men think it's cool to be a thug. They think it's cool to be promiscuous. They think all of those things are cool. The music promotes that, right? And then they got the nerve to call you corny for trying to improve. It's really the other guy that's corny, lame, and evil. It needs to be dealt with in a very, very serious way, because he wants to be in a way where he's hurting himself, and then by him doing that, he's gonna put that on his kids. He's gonna put that on the men that are around him. So we have to really get that out of our community, and we have to have more men who stand up and condemn that, right? Because I grew up around guys who are in that mentality of, man, it's cool to be a thug. I'm gonna be a thug. I'm gonna be a gangster. I'm gonna just get a whole bunch of women, and I ain't gonna care. And I'm gonna just try to look as cool as possible and be accepted in a culture of self destruction, right? That's all they cared about. And me growing up, I never could understand it. I never could fully immerse myself in it, because I was just thinking like, I don't really like doing this stuff, and I don't care. I don't care really that it's like I couldn't I couldn't get past the part that it was self-destructive. That it was self-destructive. And so I could never fully immerse myself in it. Uh but then even outside of that, you start to see that a lot of people won't say the positive thing. They don't say what needs to happen. They don't really talk about black men trying to rise. A lot of people in our culture, we want the black man to be a thug, to be this, to be that. And then what reinforces this oftentimes is a girl may say, "Oh, I want a man that's like this, and I want a man that's like that." A black woman, all right? But then she'll go and choose the guy that's a thug, who's a nobody. I wouldn't even say a nobody, but the guy who's a thug, the guy who's self-destructive, right? And the thing is, man, anybody who's going towards that lifestyle, and anybody who's trying to be inside of that, we have to push them out. We have to get them outside of that, because we need smart people who are logical and who are going to choose somebody who's good for them. Men and women. The woman can't be promiscuous and choosing the thugs and gangsters and all that. And then the man can't just choose a girl because she look good and she's X, Y, and Z. You know, we can't do that, right? The black people who the men want to be thugs and the girls want to be with the thugs and stuff. We got to push that out of the community purely because it's not helping us. It's not helping us go up. It's actually helping us go down because it's creating dysfunctional families. It's being glorified. So then your child may grow up thinking that's cool, and that's a real thing. I've seen that with a lot of kids. They grow up and they think that's cool, right? And that's what we have to push out of the community. And it starts by us waking up and start talking about it. But not only start to talk about it, but implement action as far as men coming together to to destroy that narrative, destroy that culture, right? We have to all stand up against that, and that's not one man that's going to be able to do that. There's going to be a whole bunch of men coming together and going against that and being for the culture of self-improvement, the culture of discipline, the culture of having good relationships, right? The culture of embodying God. And what I mean by that is we're going to live upright and righteous, and we're going to do for ourselves. We're going to help ourselves in every way possible, financially, uh mentally, spiritually, in our physical health, all of those things, right? And that happens by us coming together and helping ourselves and keeping our money within our community, uh having our own food in our community, all these different things. That's what we need. All the black people you see who like the black men want to be thugs, the black men want to be criminals, um the women want to be, ghetto and stuff and all that type of stuff. That got to be pushed out of the community. Those people have to be pushed out some way or another because that's hurting us. That's bringing us down. The black men and black women out there who is trying to elevate and trying to have good relationships with people and trying to promote a culture where it's improving us and helping us go up. We only need those black people. We don't need the other ones who are trying to self-destruct and don't care and they're trying to look cool. We don't need any of that. That's the important thing. We really don't need any of that. And the more we have of that, the more we're gonna, dive deeper into, our problems, and we're not gonna be able to really rise up and be, and thrive. When we're in that self-destructive culture, we just have enough to survive. We can't really thrive. So that's something that has to happen in the black community before we go against the bigger enemy, because there's a bigger enemy out there, right? But the enemy we have to focus on now is the enemy that's in our community, and that's the self-destructive culture. And we have to replace that, and we have to be revolutionary and take over that and push that out and destroy that culture, and put a culture of prosperity where the men are healthy and strong, and they practice that type of way of life of eating healthier, working out. We practice discipline as far as controlling our lust. We have affirming and good relationships with, platonically and romantically. We focus on, finances, entrepreneurship. We focus on all the good things that help us go up in life. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say. Peace out.